bam, bam. What's going on, y'all? Joseph Morrison, aka Coach Locs, coming to you with another video. This is a lock channel where I discuss lock content. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, hit the like button, share the video with a friend, you know, somebody that's maybe going on this lock journey and would be informed with videos like this. But for today's video, what we're going to be talking about, and for those, I guess, that have been following my journey for a while, and you know I've had my hair locked now for 15 months, you also know that my tips have always kind of been just slow, you know, taking their time to lock up. And as you can see, and I'll give you a little sneak peek here, for those that don't know or haven't seen it, you know, they're still kind of frizzed out. You know, they are definitely starting to lock up, and some of them are fully locked already. But just because of my hair texture pretty much being, it ranges, right? My hair texture ranges from about a 2C up to like a 4A, 4B in some parts. And that's just based on different parts of my hair. But because of that, you know, the ends of my hair they're very loose and they are taking a while to lock up. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get my wife to go in and do a little bit of crochet hooking to the tips of my locks, just the ones that are like really bad. We're gonna leave the ones that are pretty much locking up and just need a little bit more time. But there are some that, like, every time I wash my hair, they'll kind of fray out a little bit more. And then over time, they'll lock up a bit more. And then I wash my hair and they fray out a bit more. So for those ones, I just want to give them a little bit of help and kind of solidify them a little bit more. And crochet hooking is the way to go. So I just kind of figured, why not give you all a crochet hooking tutorial 2.0 to go on top of my last crochet hooking tutorial. And just basically let you see how crochet hooking can really benefit your locks in ways where you're not necessarily just fully locking up your hair with crochet hooking, but there's little areas where crochet hooking can be helpful based on your hair texture, based on various things, or sometimes honestly just based on you wanting to have certain parts of your hair lock up a little bit faster, or in my case, help my tips to lock up and just kind of help them along a little bit, you know, help them along a little bit. Sometimes they need a little bit of help. So, as I said, some of them are crazy. Like, for example, I'll show you one. There's one of them that just really, so for example, this guy right here, look at this. Look at that. This is, I call him the snake's tongue. Like this one just doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And, you know, it'll slowly start coming together sometimes, but then every time I wash my hair, it splits back up. There was one in the front, just to give you a little bit of an example. This one here that my wife did a while ago actually looked exactly like the other one that I just showed you, that little snake's tongue. This one would always kind of snake out at the end there, but she's went in and crochet hooked it up and it looks great, you know what I mean? It's held together between washes. So I want to kind of go in and do the same thing to a lot of my other locks. Not too much, but just a few problem locks that I find give me a little bit of issues. So one way that I'm going to kind of help her to know which locks I want to use is I'm going to use some clips. We're going to clip this bad boy up just like
cool.
All right, there we go, we're all clipped up. So I should have probably showed you this before I clipped my hair up, but I just want you to take a good look at the tips so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, right? So really just look at those tips. I know I should have definitely showed you this before clipping them up, but the clips basically represent the ones that I want done. There might be some that I missed in the back, but like, just really look at how, you know, they look really stringy. They look really frayed, and some of them just really aren't locking up all that well. So I just want to kind of help those ones along. And there are a bunch though that are doing, you know, pretty good job. Like one like this, for example. Not bad, you know, it's getting there. But there are some that just need a little bit of help. So we're gonna go in, we are going to crochet hook these tips up, and I just want you to be able to see the difference between what I just showed you and later, you know? And I'll walk you through it step by step, all right? Let's do it. All right, so we're here, and I just wanted to kind of show you guys that same lock that I was talking about earlier that kind of has that snake tongue kind of vibe where the tip is breaking. I thought we'd kind of go into that one so you'd kind of see how it's done a little bit. So I've got my honorary loctician here, the wife herself, and we're gonna go into it. So just let them kind of know what you're doing as you're doing that one, I guess, and then we'll kind of do a little speed run as we finish everything else.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna point the end of the crochet hook towards the end of the hair, and you wanna start at the very tip of where it's starting to fray. and you'll poke in and out. And as you do, you're gonna twist the hair.
So at the end of the crochet locking hook tool, there's a hook, and that hook is pretty much being used to pull in the loose hairs into the middle of the lock. So in this case, as she's going through, you know, and kind of twisting the hair as she goes along, it's gonna help to kind of lock it all together and pull it all together. So, you know, you can kind of conceptualize how that can help to bring a lock together or help to tighten up your tips. Or in some cases, you can actually even use a crochet locking tool to lock up your entire head. All right, so there it is. So from snake tongue to nub? I don't know what you call it, but just a better looking lock essentially. And now I don't have to worry about that lock fraying out. So that being said, let's get to work on the rest of them. Alright, we're all done, y'all. So just to go over what we just did, we just finished doing the crochet hooking on the tips of my hair. And just to compare to when I showed you it prior, right? Maybe I'll do a little split screen action, but you can just see how the ends, they just look better, right? They look a little bit more well put together. They don't look as frayed. They don't look as, you know, just shaggy at the tips. It looks a lot more uniform, and it just looks a little bit more organized, right? Like even just looking at it this way, it just looks a little bit better, a little bit more well put together, well maintained, and I'm happy with it. My wife did a great job, and you know, we'll see. Sometimes when I go into doing washing my hair, sometimes it'll come out, but we'll see what happens. Now, just to kind of briefly go over how and what we did, we were using this little guy right here. Now, usually these come in a set of 3, right? So they'll have one where it's just 1 hook. There will be another one that has 2 hooks like this, and one that has 3 hooks. And essentially that's just based on the length of your hair. If you're doing a longer strand of hair, having a 3-prong crochet hooking tool will just allow you to do it quicker. Now, mind you, you do have to be a little bit more experienced to use something like that. I personally am not, you know, comfortable doing my entire lock, for example, nor would I want to. I really would only want to use it just for the tips. I think if you're doing your whole lock, that's cool. If you want to kind of do the instant locking method by using the crochet hooking tool, but that's not really my vibe. So all you're really doing is, so if you take the tool, right, you want to make sure you get the part with the hook, but at the tip of it, you see that little hook right there? Just like a little hook. So essentially, with that little hook, you're going to kind of grab a lock, right? Let's say you have the ends. You're going to find the end, and you're taking that hook, and you're just putting that through the lock, like so, right? So you can kind of see the tip of the hook coming out, and then that hook is going to be up against my thumb, and I'm just pulling in towards, you know, getting closer, pulling in, and then basically from here, I'm just pulling in towards the lock as I turn that lock, right? So what that's doing is, it's going to be pulling these loose hairs into the lock, and as I turn it, it just kind of helps to lock things up and make things a little bit tighter, so that the locks and the different strands of hairs will just hold together a little bit tighter. Hence, it's going to give you a nice locked, tight seal, right? And that's what's going to kind of protect your lock going forward. So honestly, it's a really easy method that you can do. I like using them just for like the little problem areas like you just saw. And that's pretty much it, you know? So again, I'm really happy with it. Just taking another look. So you can see certain locks like this one here. She did a really good job with. I actually like it. And it's actually kind of maturing now, a little bit thicker, as you can see. Like when she first did the crochet hook to it, it was like a lot thinner, and now it's kind of getting a little thicker, which I like. So yeah, man, it looks dope. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. My wife does a good job with it. To anyone who kind of has the same issues I have, you know, sometimes the ends just take a little bit of time to lock up. So it's good to go and just give yourself a little bit of help. Now, if there's any questions that I did not answer with the crochet hooking method, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll answer any questions you have. I just wanted to kind of give you a brief overview of just how the crochet hooking method can help you on your locking journey, and some tools that maybe just good to put in your tool belt, right? If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Hit that subscribe button, share the video with a friend that this might be helpful for, and hit that like button too. Helps with the algorithm, allows my channel and these videos to get out to other people. And outside of that, y'all, another video in the books. My daughter's out there having a blast. She's like on one today. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video, all right? Peace and love. Kojo Locs signing out.